Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about travel products and specifically makeup. What I take when I'm traveling in terms of makeup, I really try to pare it down. I try to pack super light. I am not the kind of person that likes to have extra baggage when I am traveling. I try to get away with a carry-on if I can. So I have to be really critical about the products that I'm putting in my travel bag for my cosmetics. So I want to show you some of my favorite products that I use when I'm traveling. I recently took a trip to New York City with two of my good friends and we loved it. It was a great getaway with the girls and I just want to show you what I packed. So for the face, what I brought along was very simple. I made sure that I had a good moisturizer packed, and then the first step that I like to do for my face, especially when I know I'm going to be outside a lot and kind of transitioning from indoors to outdoors, I like to use the Mary Kay Oil Mattifier. It's basically like a primer, but specifically it really helps oil control. So I take just a small dollop of this and I tap it into my T-zone. The next thing that I do is I take my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and I have this one in the shade Fair. And I use this on my under eyes and I place it anywhere where I have unevenness or like a blemish or discoloration that I want to cover up. So I do not do a full face of foundation when I'm traveling. I'm going to try to keep it really light. So that goes on to cover up any imperfections that I want to cover. And then next, this is a new discovery for me. It's not a new product, but it's something that I really like. I've been using the Revlon Nearly Naked powder, and it's a really finely milled powder, so it looks really nice on the skin, but it has some coverage. So I take this with a kabuki brush. I got this one in a boxy charm. It's from Bella Pierre. It's really soft. It's really petite, so it's great for traveling. And I just swirl it around in the powder. I have this in shade 020 Light. I swirl it around in the powder and just kind of buff it onto my face so that I have a nice even and soft complexion. So that's what I use on the face. Moving to the eyes, my favorite travel palette is the Lorac Pro To Go palette. It looks like this. It's nice and compact, and it really has so much in one. So in the first section, you can see a decent sized mirror, which is great for getting ready. And it has these wonderful eye shades. So first is like a vanilla matte color. This one I can actually use as a setting powder under my eyes, and I did that as I traveled. So that was fantastic. And you can use it as a base for your eyeshadow as well. So that's a great one. And then there's this pearlized shadow also, which is just a nice gentle shimmer. So this is the vanilla shade in matte, and then there's the shimmer shade. That one really works on top of the cheekbone as a highlight as well. So you don't have to pack an extra highlighter just because you're traveling. You have it all to go in this little palette. And then the eye shades, I'm going to go ahead and swatch them for you. There's the Chai shade, which is a beautiful like bronzy brown, has a nice shimmer to it. Cafe, which is a matte brown, great for the crease. Mink, which is a cooler tone taupey brown, which is great for darkening the outer corner, or if you want to go for a nice smoky look, you can buff it onto the whole eye. And this is another great true black matte shade, which is so nice to have in a palette. So those shades are what I brought along for my eyes, and I absolutely love them. If you have a great angled liner brush that you love to use, you could get away with not even bringing eyeliner and just using that black shadow to sort of define your eyes. So that's what I use for my eyes, and the palette even comes with a little mini brush tucked in here, so that's useful. It's not the best brush in the world, but it's workable for sure. On the other side of the palette are bronzers and blushes, and these are gorgeous. So the bronzer is a perfect, it's nice and light and powdery, nicely milled, so even though it looks like a pretty warm bronzer, it works out okay on the face because it doesn't go on streaky, it's not too intense, it really looks like a natural flush of color on the face. And then there's a pink shade and a coral shade. The coral has a bit of shimmer while the pink is matte, and they just are fantastic for travel. So I loved using both of those. And then there actually is another little brush in here. This is a liner brush. So again, you could use that in that black shadow or however you see fit. Love this palette. It's totally worth the price. I think it's around the $40 mark. Maybe it's 38, something like that. But you get so much in there. It's so useful. Also for the eyes, I bring my brow pencil. So this is the one by Milani, Easy Brow Automatic Pencil. It's water resistant and it's in the shade Natural Taupe. I just love that it's a creamy formula. The shade is great for my, fair skin, blonde hair. And it has a spoolie on the end, so it's kind of an all-in-one product. For eyeliner, I did bring a separate eyeliner, and I absolutely love this Fabuliner by Jordana. It's like $2 at the drugstore. I found mine at Walgreens. This is in the shade 01 Black, and it just makes such a perfect deep black line. It's perfect, and because of the felt tip point, it's really easy to get a wing if you want to and to vary the width of your line. And it really doesn't budge throughout the day. So this is a great one. And it's great to travel with something like this because it is so inexpensive. So if something were to happen to it, no, it's not the end of the world. And then I like to bring a good washable mascara. I do not like to bring waterproof because it's such a pain to get off the eyes. So with travel cleansers and you're traveling so light, I want to make sure it's easy for me to get my mascara off. So I go with my trusty Revlon Lash Potion, and it's wonderful and volumizing, and it's easy to remove at the end of the day. For brushes, I try to keep that limited as well. I told you I bring the small Kabuki by Bella Pierre for the powder. And then one of my favorite face brushes, I could probably get away with using this and not having the Kabuki because it's such a multitasker, is this brush by Eco Tools. It's the tapered blush brush, and it's very soft and very fluffy. So you can use it for powder, bronzer, all over the face. But I used it specifically for bronzing up my face and adding blush and highlight. So I like that it has a nice tapered tip because then you really can highlight with it without worrying about, shining up your whole face with the highlight product. So this is a great multitasker brush, and it's super affordable too. Another thing that I brought, since basically my only, face foundation type product was the Fit Me concealer, I brought my favorite concealer brush, which is by e.l.f. and it's the Flawless Concealer Brush. And I just love it. It's very soft and fluffy, but it's the perfect size to really blend around the eye area or to blend over blemishes or wherever you have little spots. So it's fantastic for that purpose. And I brought that one along. And then because I didn't want to just solely rely on the eyeshadow brushes that come in the Lorac palette, I brought another Eco Tools brush. This is just an all-around good eye brush because you can blend with it. It's soft and fluffy enough for blending, but it's sort of flat. If you look at it from the side, it's kind of flat, so it's good at packing on shadow as well. And this is just called the Stay There Shadow Brush. Another affordable brush, soft, easy to use, love it. Last but not least is lip products. Again, I try to keep it super simple while I'm traveling. So one of my favorite lip products of all time is the Balm Stains by Wet n Wild. And so I make sure that I bring a variety of colors that are going to keep me satisfied while I'm traveling. One of my favorites for reds is this one in Ready or Not. And then one that I keep with me almost all the time, you can see how worn down the tip of this one is Made You Pink. This is one of their newer shades, and it's just such a natural pink shade for me. So this is the one that I often have in my bag just at all times to wear. And then I like to bring a bright pop of color. I love the shade Radioactive. It's like a bright poppy red pink kind of color. Maybe like a corally red. And then I love a stiff pink, which is a really bright, fun, almost like a Barbie pink. So I actually ended up taking these three, so I'd have a nice bright pink, I'd have a nice neutral pink, and I would have a red lip. And I love them because they're glossy and moisturizing, but they leave a stain, so you don't have to worry about touching up your lips. If I put on the red lip stain, it's gonna stay there. And maybe I'll reapply after I eat or something like that, but until then, I can pretty much trust that I'm gonna have some lip color on my lips, which is great for traveling, so you don't wanna be worrying about touching up all the time. So I hope you enjoyed that and that you get some ideas of what you might want to pack when you're traveling. If you have any questions for me or you want to share what some of your favorite products are for traveling, please comment down below. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you next time. Bye.